Question is, can Greens and Labor get together? Well, I think the situation in this country is, unlike other countries, we haven't had a Labor Party. I mean, they talked about the Democrats being that, but it's not, because it's been in coalition with the corporate interests who dominate that coalition. They set the agenda. And it's pretty pathetic when you hear, Trump saying, oh, we'll get Employee Free Choice Act after the midterms. He was saying that, he kept being asked on MSNBC. He said, oh, we'll get it after the midterms. And then I saw Jimmy Hoffa, my union president. He was asked, what are you going to do now? And he said, well, next time we're going to elect more Democrats. Well, that did us a lot of good when they had the power. They had both houses of Congress and the presidency. In my state, they had both houses and the governorship. In my city, they're all Democrats, governor and city council, and we haven't got anything. So I think it's important that it's called social unionism, not business unionism, where you just look out after your own members and you're a narrow special interest group. It's where the labor movement projects a vision for the whole society. And I think the Greens and Labor got to get together on a vision. What I ran for as governor of New York was what we called the Green New Deal. And what we wanted to do was restore and defend and fulfill the old New Deal demands. Social insurance, like national health insurance, healthcare, Medicare for all. Public enterprise where private enterprise and markets failed. The right to a job at a living wage, which Roosevelt enunciated toward the end of his term when he called for an economic bill of rights in an address to Congress in his State of the Union. And then we even have to defend fiscal and monetary stimulus, which now the Democrats are accepting with the Republicans. We don't need another stimulus, even though the last one, even though it wasn't enough, was effective as far as it went, and it wasn't well allocated, like on green investments. The U.S. stimulus was 11% green investment. The Europeans did 50%. The Chinese did 30%, and theirs was massive. And I don't know where they would have put more money in greens. The South Koreans was 90%. So we get lip service to green jobs, but not much substance. So the idea is to build on that American tradition. People, the New Deal is popular with most people. The idea that, government should take care of people's basic needs. Employment, safety net, Social Security, social insurance. But the Democrats are living off a legacy of being New Deal, when in fact they're New Democrats, which is that neoliberal policy. So what we did was defend that, but then we want to extend it in two ways. One is the ecological question. That's why we call it a Green New Deal. And the other is economic democracy. We have to democratize, like take single-payer health care. Back in the early 70s, there were three options. There was National Health Service with doctors on staff and under community control by elected boards that we would elect along with healthcare workers. That was the model coming out of the Civil Rights Movement, the Medical Committee for Human Rights. They called the insurance model the Great Leap Sideways. They were concerned you wouldn't control costs under the Kennedy bill, which was the bill back then, because the public insurance would be subsidizing private hospitals that were for-profit, providers that were for-profit, drug companies that were for-profit, and so on. So the community control side of how we do things like single-payer health care, we need to talk about in this program. And then the ecological crisis. I think the centerpiece of the program's got to be a multi-year, multi-trillion-dollar investment in clean energy, energy efficiency, mass transit, organic agriculture, and manufacturing that's clean, that supports those industries. That should be our industrial policy. We've had an industrial policy. It's been military industrial policy. We got to break apart that military industrial security congressional complex, which is, draining the public treasury. And I think, that's how Greens and Labor get together.